Hi everybody, it's 10 o'clock, time for your news. Up next, exclusive details on what police and Horry County school officials call a kill list. Plus, who consumer groups say are unfairly targeting your kids. And Team 15 visits with the Timminsville family 1 year after a house fire killed 4 young kids. WPDE News Channel 15's 10 on UPN begins right now.
This is WPDE News Channel 15 at 10 on UPN with Jim Heath. Weather with meteorologist Ed Piotrowski, and sports with Rich Krampanis.
Hi everybody, good evening. As we make a little history together tonight, the area's only primetime 10 o'clock news. Our goal, to provide you up-to-date local and national stories, bring you the first primetime weathercast, and the very latest from the world of sports. We also have some very interesting reports lined up in the days ahead, so thanks very much for tuning us in. Coming up tonight, we check in with a devastated Timminsville community 1 year after a tragic fire. Plus, you may not believe who some consumer groups are blaming for coming after your kids. But first at 10 tonight, a Socastee High School student has been suspended and now faces criminal charges after police say she was caught with a kill list. School officials say they learned about the list on Thursday when a student found out their name was on it and came to them. The girl accused of creating that list was questioned, and school officials said they confirmed the list existed. Team 15 was told the list has 19 names on it, 17 students, and 2 staff members.
The administration immediately went ahead and suspended that student. That student is no longer allowed on the property of Socastee High School until a time of which a hearing is set. And
we're told that hearing will be on Wednesday. At that time, officials will determine if the student should be expelled. Police have charged her with disturbing schools, and she is scheduled to appear in court next month. 1 year ago, a house fire in Timminsville killed 4 young children and devastated an entire community. Today, Team 15 visited there and spent time with the only child who made it out of that house alive. This was the scene last November after a Brockington Street home caught fire, killing 4 small children who were stuck inside. 3-year-old Tavon Lyde was the only child who survived that fire. He spent several weeks in a burn unit, but 1 year later, his injuries have thankfully healed, and he plays like all the other kids his age. Members of the family that lost the 4 kids say it's been a tough year, but they've made it through because of each other.
It was a little sad, you know, but we all the family stood together and we just told everybody to keep their heads up. Everything will work out.
Police initially charged the parents with neglect in the fire, but have since resolved those charges through a diversionary program. Well, first, it was Joe Camel. Now, the Pillsbury Doughboy? Come on. Consumer groups say they're out to protect your kids, and tonight they're going after junk food companies' advertising techniques. Here's Eric Hong tonight.
On Saturday mornings, you'll find ad after ad for sugary, high-calorie products.
And now come in cinnamon and chocolate chip.
Food manufacturers spent $15 billion last year marketing to kids, more than double the amount spent 10 years ago, according to a study by the Center for Science in the Public Interest.
Parents have a virtually impossible job when manufacturers, retailers, and restaurants use every trick in the book to hook kids on their brands of processed foods.
Many of the ads in question use tie-ins that connect the product to popular toys and kids' movies.
McDonald's is introducing Brother Bear toys.
Though the bulk of the ads are on TV, the study says companies are targeting kids through websites, magazines, even in school. In the 1950s, films promoting healthy eating were shown in classrooms.
A complete, delicious, well-balanced meal.
Today, kids are getting a mixed message. The U.S. Department of Agriculture spends $10 million a year to teach nutrition in schools, but far more is spent by companies to install vending machines in school hallways and stock cafeterias with fast food products.
For every $1 spent by the USDA on child nutrition education, $10 is spent by the food industry.
Still, defenders say the study takes a narrow view of the nation's obesity problem.
We need to look more broadly and see that it's in our activity levels and the types of work that we do, the genetics, our availability of food, our taste preferences.
The study stopped short of accusing food companies of purposely trying to undermine the health of children, but it does call on the government to regulate junk food advertising, much like it does tobacco ads. Eric Hong, ABC News, Chicago.
Now, other studies show American children are getting fatter and fatter, and many consumer groups like CSPI are blaming their diets. All right, let's catch up with the top 3 stories at 10 now. A rising toll of casualties in Iraq is prompting U.S. officials to consider revising their tactics on the ground. In northern Iraq, Americans and their partners have come under a flurry of attacks. In Tikrit, insurgents fired a rocket into the 4th Infantry Division's headquarters. The top U.S. administrator in Iraq says terrorist attacks like that are likely to increase over the next couple of months unless intelligence improves. Administration officials say the key lies in training more Iraqis to perform intelligence gathering duties. In Virginia Beach, the prosecution has rested its case against sniper suspect John Muhammad. The defense begins presenting its case Wednesday. Meantime, attorneys for Lee Malvo say they've subpoenaed Muhammad to testify there. Defense attorney Craig Cooley says Muhammad can answer a number of questions about his brainwashing techniques. Malvo's trial in Chesapeake, Virginia has recessed after choosing 7 potential jurors. And oops! There were some anxious moments when a plane caused a security breach at the White House today. After passing within 8 miles of the presidential mansion, the plane was escorted to North Carolina by Air Force fighter jets that were scrambled to intercept it. The plane's breach triggered a security scare that led Vice President Dick Cheney and President Bush's chief of staff to be moved to a secure location. Upon investigation, the plane was determined not to be a threat. The pilot had made a simple mistake. On this historic night, the premiere of our primetime news, let's welcome Ed Piotrowski for our very first 10 p.m. look at the weather. Hey, Ed.
All right, hi, Jim. Let's take a look at the satellite picture, and we'll show you that nothing's happening across eastern South Carolina now. A few clouds in the upstate. They're heading to the southeast. They're high, thin clouds, though, so nothing to worry about. Live pinpoint weather net. It's getting pretty chilly out there. Temperatures in the upper 40s to near 50 inland. Low to mid 50s along the immediate coast. And as we head through the overnight hours and wake up tomorrow morning, temps will be in the low to mid 40s, so rather cool to chilly out there, but plenty of sunshine around. Nice warm up over the next couple of days. Details coming up shortly.
I'm sorry, did that say 42?
Yes, it did. Colder than this morning. Actually, not as cold as this morning.
Oh, boy. All right, Ed, thank you. Well, Veterans Day tomorrow, troops in Iraq and around the world are on everyone's mind. Up next, we'll show you how you can get holiday gifts to the troops in time for Christmas. Plus, while folks in one part of Horry County are getting revved up for a new park. Stay with us.